She was born in the quiet town of Tuscumbia, Alabama, a place where summer winds moved through the fields and children played in the golden light of the sun. But in that house on Ivy Green, one child was different. Helen Keller entered the world in 1880 with bright eyes and a spirit full of curiosity. Yet before she reached her second birthday, an illness came silently stealing her sight, and her hearing in a matter of days. The world around her fell into darkness and silence, and in that darkness a storm began inside her. She could not hear her mother's voice. She could not see her father's smile. She could not understand why everything she once knew had vanished. She was trapped between two worlds, the world of the living and the world of shadows. And yet deep inside her something still burned, a will to connect, a need to be understood. Her parents were heartbroken. Their little girl moved through the house like a ghost, silent, restless, her hands searching her lips, trembling with sounds no one could understand. Hope seemed lost until one day a young woman arrived at their door. Her name was Anne Sullivan. Partially blind herself, she carried with her not just knowledge, but a fire, a belief that Helen's silence was not the end but the beginning of something extraordinary. The day and entered Helen's life. The story of the girl who could not hear or see began to change. Their first meeting was not gentle. Helen was wild, frustrated, angry at a world that had no place for her. She kicked and screamed, pushed and resisted every effort to reach her, and did not give up. She saw in Helen not a lost cause, but a locked soul, and she held the key with every touch, every gesture, and taught her that communication could happen through her hands. The first word she spelled into Helen's palm was doll, but Helen did not understand. She felt the shapes of the letters without knowing their meaning and remained patient. She guided Helen's hand to water flowing from a pump and spelled water into her palm again and again and again until suddenly something clicked. The cold water running over her skin, the rhythm of the letters in her hand, the connection between touch and meaning opened a door in her mind. For the first time, Helen understood that everything had a name, that the world could be described, that language could live inside her even without sound or sight. And that moment changed everything. Her face lit up, her body trembled with excitement, and she demanded to know the names of everything around her: the ground, the sky, the teacher, the water, the love, and held her and wept, knowing that a miracle had just begun. From that day forward, Helen learned tirelessly. Every object she touched became a new word. Every word became a bridge to the world she could not see. She learned to read through raised letters, to speak with her hands, to write her thoughts on paper. Her hunger for knowledge was unstoppable. Her world grew larger with every passing day. Soon she was reading entire books in Braille and communicating with people through touch and patience. She was no longer a ghost. She was alive. She was brilliant. She was free, but her journey was far from easy. Society did not know what to do with someone like her. People doubted her, questioned her abilities, said no blind, deaf girl could ever learn like others. But Helen refused to be defined by what she had lost. She chose to be defined by what she could still give. She studied harder than anyone. She met challenges head-on and eventually became the first deaf-blind person to earn a college degree from Radcliffe College at Harvard University. Her achievements shocked the world, but Helen did not want fame. She wanted change. She wanted a world where no one was left behind, where those born in silence and darkness could still find light. She began writing books and giving speeches. Her voice carried through interpreters, but her words carried through hearts. She spoke about education, equality, and human rights. She became a powerful advocate for the disabled, for women, and for the poor. She stood beside world leaders. She inspired presidents. She traveled across continents, spreading a message that the human spirit knows no boundaries. In every speech, she reminded people that blindness was not just of the eyes, but of the heart, that the greatest tragedy was not to be blind, but to have sight and no vision. Her teacher and remained by her side for nearly 50 years. Together they were a symbol of faith and friendship, of what patience and love can create. Even in the darkest places, they faced criticism, doubt, exhaustion, yet their bond never broke. It was built on understanding, on shared struggle, on a promise that the world could be better. And it was because of them. The story of Helen Keller is not just the story of a girl who could not hear or see. It is the story of what it means to be human, to fall into darkness and still find light, to be cut off from the world and yet change it forever. It is the story of how courage and education can awaken a silent soul, and give it the power to move nations. Her life became a mirror reflecting what humanity could be at its best. She reminded everyone that strength grows in struggle, that the most powerful voices often come from the quietest hearts, and that love, the purest form of love, can teach even where words cannot. When Helen stood on stages around the world, she could not hear the applause, but she could feel it. She could feel the vibration of gratitude in the air. She could feel the connection with the people she touched. She once said, "The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even heard, but must be felt with the heart," and she lived by those words every day. As the years passed, her work inspired generations. Schools for the blind and deaf opened across America. Her books were translated into dozens of languages. She met presidents, kings, writers, and children who looked up to her as living proof that hope can defy all limits. When Anne Sullivan passed away, Helen continued her mission, carrying forward the light that her teacher had lit within her. She became the teacher, she became the guide, she became the voice for those who had none, and even in her old age, her spirit never dimmed. She kept writing, she kept fighting, she kept believing that humanity could always rise above its fears, above its differences, above its blindness. When she finally left this world in 1968, America more not just a woman, but a symbol of what it means to rise after falling. Her home in Tuscumbia became a place of pilgrimage. Her books became treasures, her story became legend, and today her name still echoes through classrooms and libraries across the United States as a testament to the power of perseverance, the miracle of education, and the beauty of a soul that refused to be silent. Helen Keller, the girl who could not hear or see, but changed the world, reminds us that greatness is not born of comfort, but of courage, that the truest voices often come from those who the world thought could never speak, and that the real measure of a life is not how easy it was lived, but how deeply it touched the hearts of others.